There's no need to care. Without just ourselves, I could go somehow. Getting up this conversation, it's I'm just a question. Yeah. It's just my only fear that we become beautiful people. Fashion shows.
Ayan, good afternoon everyone. Ayan, so we will be starting in a few minutes. So bago tayo mag-start, gusto ko lang muna kamustahin kayo lahat. Kamusta kayo guys? Kamusta yung ating FTL Workshop Week? Good afternoon sa lahat, sa math majors, sa mga prof na nandito, sa mga students, magandang tanghali, good afternoon. Hello, kamusta naman kayo? So far, sa ating 3 na unang workshop, ano yung pinaka nagustuhan nyo? Siyempre aside dun sa sa workshop para sa specific yung program. So, aside dun sa specific yung program na workshop, ano yung nagustuhan nyo na workshop? Chat naman kayo dyan, anong pinaka nagustuhan nyo? Ay, lahat. Bida-bida naman ni Lori, lahat daw. Yes. Ano pa? Ano pa yung mga ikaw? Ay, Abby, wag kang ganyan. Abby, wag. Charot. Okay. Ayan. Ayan, useful lahat and meaningful. Yes, lahat. O, di ba? Kasi sobrang amazing lahat ng workshops natin. So far, di ba? Ayan. Siyempre, palaban din yung ating for last day ng workshop. Ayan. Hello. Ayan, good afternoon sa ating lahat. Ayan. So, okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the day 4, okay, the last day of the FTL Workshop Week. And for the last session, ayan, for our last day, we will be having Math Focus, Authentic Assessment in Mathematics. And I am Roy Montenegro, your Kuya Roy, and I will be your host for this afternoon. Yeah, so to start our program, here's Clarence Villarin for the prayer, to be followed by the singing of the National Anthem.
We praise and thank you, God, for the blessing you shower upon us. Empower us that we have intelligence to comprehend and perform best we can. And the hill for total commitment to truth, justice, freedom, peace, and unity among people and the environment. And the heart to be compassionate and sensitive to needs of others, especially the poor. This we ask in the name of Mary, our Lord, and Jesus Lord. Amen. Mother Fidelis, ora pro nobis. And the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, palog na puso sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang inilang, ganyan ka ng pag-ibig, sa mandalupi, pinapasisim, sa lahat at bundok sa simoy at sa langit ang lahat. Hindi na tumatawid sa pandayang ginamahan, ang isa't ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na nagiging. Ang natarang ng kaya, ang magiging, lupa na araw-araw, ay pasitaway namin sa pinto. Ang hikaya dapat ay magkakit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Yeah, so once again, good afternoon to all. And again, sabi ko nga kanina, we are now down to the last day of our FTL Workshop Week. It has been a week full of knowledge and learning and skills for the Faith College of Education. First day, meron tayo creating effective presentations, diba? Headed by our EED officers. We also had editorial writing workshops, spearheaded naman ng ating mga English majors. Also, we had yung last natin, yung latest natin, we have the first aid workshop headed naman ng mga BPE. So now, for sure, marami na naman tayong matututunan because now we will be learning about how us future teachers can craft authentic assessments for our students, no? Especially in mathematics. Okay, so to open and welcome us to this event, may we call on Miss Jeline Ocor, BSE Math Advisor, for the opening remarks. Let us give her a warm virtual round of applause.
So since Miss Akar cannot join us today due to her busy schedules, let me read her welcome message for all of us. Hello everyone. For those of you just joining us, welcome to today's webinar. Today's pandemic brought us too many educational challenges and issues in terms of the teaching and learning process. We educators see them as potential opportunities as the pandemic breaks the boundary between conventional teaching and the world's fluidity. If we're wise, we'll use this moment to help our students better understand the world's complexity beyond the traditional academic walls by trying to influence and reshape students' learning in substantive ways. And this is one of the reasons why authentic assessment is essential. One of its goals is to help the learning process and improve students' knowledge while they complete various learning tasks that are beneficial to their real-world experiences. This type of assessment provides educators opportunities so the learners can exceed more on the learning process. After this webinar, we hope that students rethink that their project assignments, daily lecture reports, and journals are to ensure that they understand the topics and are capable of performing well without the pressure of just having to get high scores on the traditional test. On behalf of the College of Education, we want to express our appreciation to Mr. Paulo Cardenas for taking the time to speak to our student body in the importance of authentic assessment, specifically in mathematics. Thank you.
Ayan, so thank you, Miss Akor, and thank you, Feridin, for reading her message. Ayan, so alam ko lahat kayo excited. Excited na ba kayo? Chat naman kayo kung excited na kayo. Excited na ba kayo for our last day of our workshop? Last na natin to, and next week, exam na natin. So ready na ba kayo? Yan, yes. Ready na sila. Yes. Okay. Yan, ready na. Okay. So without further ado, again, here is Ferry Rose Duazo, the Faith Teachers League Treasurer, to introduce our speaker for this afternoon.
So thank you, Kuya Roy. Mr. Amiel Paulo G. Cardenas, LPT MS, finished his Bachelor in Secondary Education, BSc, major in Mathematics at Rizal Technological University in Mandaluyong, Manila. While reviewing for the licensure examination for teachers, or LET, he was offered a grade school teaching job at Food for Hungry Minds, an NGO-funded school for the poor. He took the LET and garnered an average of 86.20, which made him 1 point shy from being a top-notcher. He immediately transferred to the Department of Education in Makati, where he taught for 5 years. He made the most out of his flexible time as a public school teacher by taking his graduate studies at Ateneo de Manila University. He took his Master of Science in Mathematics Education with full scholarship in that university. While balancing his role as a teacher and as a grad school student, he managed to pursue academic endeavors such as writing academic papers, which he presented locally and internationally, conducting research in the classroom, and acting as a division demonstration teacher. He also won several awards given by the DEPA division of Makati. After finishing his master's degree in 2018, he left the public school and transferred to the University of Santo Tomas to continue his teacher-researcher career. His research interests include mathematical giftedness, mathematics competitions, and professional learning communities. He is also one of our speakers during EDUC Talk 2019 Transform that happened last November 11, 2019. Everyone, let's give Mr. Emil Paulo G. Cardenas a virtual applause.
Okay, thank you everyone. So thank you for the introduction. No? When they're asking me to make an introduction or to make myself an introduction, lagi ko nilalagay yung 86.20 kasi that's really disappointing in my in my part. No, of course I want to give I want to give back to my alma mater then. And I'm very sure na the one of the different ways or one of the best ways to give up to your alma mater is to pass and of course to top the board exam. Kaya, you know, at that time, it's a little disappointing that I wasn't able to give that to my alma mater. But then again, it's a good thing that I'm a teacher, no? That marks the start of me being a professional teacher. And I'm very sure you also have those dreams, no? Siyempre, pagkatapos nito, pagka bumalik na tayo sa normal, makapag board exam na and all of these things. And I'm very sure that you will do your best. Now, good afternoon, everyone. I'm again Amiel. Nag-talk na rin ako last time, no? And I'm very sure I'm seeing familiar faces here and there, no? So kung nakikita ko na it's a good thing, no? That we are able to meet again. Now, before I start the presentation, I would like to have some things, no? To be put first. First is I will be asking some questions, no? So kasi it's important for me to have some feedback. No? So the typical questions are: do you understand? Do you have questions? Do you get it? Do you agree? Yung mga ganun lang, no? Kasi for me it's feedback is important. Kasi there are times wherein I'm doing the online class tapos I didn't realize na na-disconnect na pala ako, no? Kaya yung mga students ko, they don't have any way for me to for me na or for them to remind me na sir, na-disconnect ka na. Hindi ko syempre hindi nila ako may email, 'di ba? Or anything like that. So I will be asking from time to time if you understand, ganyan. So your feedback is extremely important. Okay? So I asked Roy na if I can require the class to turn on their camera, and I guess if you feel, no, and if it is possible, you can turn on your cameras, no? So I have nothing what I mean is okay lang sa akin kung hindi naka-turn on yung camera nyo. And by the looks of it, meron din kayong what do you call this? Meron din kayong mga pictures. So that's a good thing. So kasi sa UST din, I don't really require the students, no? So aside from the fact na they're minors, they're not really required, no? Kasi of course, bandwidth is low and all of these things. So ayun. Now we will be talking about authentic assessment. So let me share my screen to you. By the way, before I share the screen, is there anyone here, or raise your hands now or show of hands? Sino dito yung first year college? First year college. So you just have to, I guess, yung raise hand function. Ayan, raise hands or something like this. Yan. So anyone here who is okay, yan. So si Mary Joy, si Jonalyn, okay, si Joshua, so first year. So welcome to well, actually hindi man ako member ng ng First Asia, although I would like to welcome you to the teaching profession. So Mary Joy, Jonalyn, Joyce, Chelsea, so good afternoon and welcome to the teaching profession. Now, how about second year college? Second year college. So si Lovely, I think I know Lovely eh. Ba? Okay, so si Clarence, si what's this? Ludwig, Respecia, Austria. Okay, so thank you for that. Third year college. Third year. Si Roy. Okay. Si Ira, si Angelica, si John Kenneth. Yes, very very familiar faces. So marami sila. Okay, Ferry, John Eric, Almira, Paul, Rosella, Marjorie, Laureline, Roy Angelo, we have two Roys pala, no? Georgie, Leilani, and Army. So again, good afternoon. And yung mga fourth year natin, we're supposed to be teaching, di ba? Parang ano na dapat eh, practical, no? Or yung practical nyo na tawag doon is in-campus and off-campus na dapat. So anyone? So si Almira and si Laureline are fourth year college students. Okay, nice. Pero I'm very sure at some point in your life you have an experience regarding teaching. I mean, the joy of teaching is what brought you here, right? Diba? So I do hope na no, you find the teaching profession or the teaching job to be very fulfilling. Now, let me now present. Okay, I think I'm going to present my entire screen. Okay, so just tell me if you can see the presentation. Huh? Okay. Oops. There we go. So, okay na, nakikita nyo naman? And the audio.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So again, I will be talking about authentic assessment in mathematics, but I will be giving you some things. No, I'm not going to go to the details of what is assessment, what is measurement, assessment and evaluation, what are the differences among the three. Hindi ko sasabihin yan because of course na-discuss nyo na yan nung pala nito, nung sa Prof Ed, right? Sa Prof Ed nyo. So I'm very sure. Or iba dito, madidiscuss sa inyo yan sa Prof Ed. But I would like to deal with authentic assessment for this afternoon. Okay, let me go. Siyempre, since we're teachers, it's important for us to set the goals first or the objectives of the class. So we have 3 objectives. First is to justify the need for an authentic assessment in the context of online classes. So authentic assessment is something that's old. Okay? Luma na ito, lumang tugtugin na ito, pero hindi nakakapagtaka lang kasi luma na siya or kahit luma na siya, wala pa rin gumagawa, no? Especially in the Philippines. So, ngayon, I think in the context of online classes, it's needed more than ever. Diba? At some point in our life, yung blended learning, yung modular learning are very far from the reality kasi hindi naman natin kailangan, 'di ba? Meron naman talaga tayo, pumapasok naman talaga tayo, 'di ba? So, nagpe-prepare tayo, pupunta tayo sa school. So, I think there's no need for an online class na learning. Tapos nangyari yung pandemic, kaya we are forced to do it, no? Online learning has been there for a long period of time, pero hindi natin siya pinapansin. And dahil nagkaroon ng pandemic, ginagawa na natin siya, no? Kaya itong authentic assessment, I would like to say na this is very important, especially in this case or in this pandemic that we're having. Second is differentiate authentic assessment from traditional assessment. How do we know if we are actually doing an authentic one or just the traditional thing? And lastly, the different challenges. Identify the different challenges that come with the implementation of an authentic assessment. So, sa gaya ng sabi ko, yung authentic assessment has been there for a long time. Bakit hindi siya ginagawa? There's probably something wrong with this. There is probably something wrong with the subject itself. Or baka mahirap siya. Diba? So, syempre kung matagal na yan, bakit wala pang gumagawa? Or bakit hindi pa siya uso in the context of the Philippine classroom? Diba? So, I'm very sure, okay, let me just check that, no? Okay, I'm very sure na gusto yung gumawa ng authentic assessment, pero there's something that's pulling you back in doing the authentic assessment. So, sige, ngayon, let me go to the first objective. I will be giving you the reasons why we should do an authentic assessment, especially now that we're on the online class. So, ito. Now, I would like you to introduce to Mentimeter. Are you familiar with this one? Familiar ba kayo sa Mentimeter? Yung para siyang
Yes po.
Nice. Okay, good. No, so I guess I don't have to give any introduction. So sige, let me show that to you. So you can access it using this link. I'm going to copy this and paste it on the chat box. Okay. Let me just paste it here. Tapos, another thing is you can use the access code 685861. Okay, that is 685861. And of course, you can do the QR code, wherein you can just use you can use your camera to get an image of the QR code. So you will be given instant access when you use that. So sige, now what is the question about? Okay, I hope you can see this. So the question is this: as a math teacher, I want my students to feel that my subject is. So you're going to complete the sentence. No? Okay, nice, nice. Fun, life-changing, interesting. Ano pa? Sige, go on. I would like to get as much response as possible. Interesting, beautiful, nice, nice. Challenging. Any others? So sige. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. Enjoyable. Go on, go on. So actually, I have a certain thing in my mind, no? Gusto kong mamaya sasabihin ko din naman. So promotes creativity, useful, magical. That's a nice word, magical. Colorful, okay. What else? Worthwhile, or I guess what she or he's trying to say there is it's something that is worth the effort, worth the time to study. Okay, good. Magnificent, nice. Okay. Mapapansin niyo, interesting is the biggest one kasi ibig sabihin maraming nag reply or maraming nag-respond ng interesting. Okay, so that another one is fun, enjoyable, beautiful. Okay, out of this world. Okay, so I noticed na there's something here na where is that? Out of this world. Okay, fun learning, magnificent, not boring, tricky. Okay, nice. Huh? I expected different response from you, pero I'm getting a lot of things from here, no? So kasi would you believe? Sige, lagay lang kayo ng lagay ng response, it's fine. Would you believe na this the way we think about mathematics is the kind of way that that the students expect from us. So what ano ibig sabihin na, sir? Okay. So kung paano mo tignan yung mathematics, it actually emanates in your teaching. So if you think mathematics is difficult, it will be difficult. Okay? If you think mathematics is interesting, the way you present mathematics will always be interesting. Right? Of course, mathematics has its has its parts na boring. May parts yun na mahirap. That's why interesting is something that is it's something that is very hard, very challenging to do. Okay, so important, magnificent, relevant. Okay, so may nakita ko relevant. Is there anyone can anyone tell me sino yung naglagay ng relevant? I just want to know your name. Anyone? Who wrote yung relevant? Anyone from the class? Sige, huwag kang mahiya. It's fine. I just want to know. Kasi actually, si Almira. Okay. Hello, Almira. So, yeah. Actually, we have the same thoughts, no? Kasi the way I think of mathematics, or the way we should teach mathematics is in a way that makes it relatable. Okay? So what do you mean by relatable, sir? Ibig sabihin ng relatable is something that is can be applied in real life. Okay? So, sir, sige, wait lang ha. Let me just go over this thing. Nandiyan yung out of this world. Best, fun, nice, logical, enjoyable, easy, amazing, applicable in life, promotes logical thinking, promotes creativity, worthy, cool, systematic, fun learning, life-changing, challenging, worthwhile, useful. Okay, great. So, thank you for your thank you for your responses. So, I would suggest na you do this in your own classroom, especially pagka pandemic, no? Kasi this is a fun way of doing things. So let me go back to my presentation. Okay. So thank you again for your responses. Gaya ng sabi ni Almira, I would like to focus on the work or on the description of Almira. She wants mathematics to be relatable. Okay? Actually, yun din yung iniisip ko eh. Okay? So as a teacher, it is our goal to make mathematics relatable. So that comes with the words useful, can be applied in real life, so all of these things. No? So bakit? Ano ba yung ano? Can we make mathematics easy? Diba? I mean, di ba mas maganda yon na our goal as a math teacher is to make mathematics easy. Anyone? Anyone would like to respond to that? Anyone? Sige. Since ilan lang naman tayo dito, 43. I think we can do it in like a question and answer mode. So, sige. I think. Okay. Why is it mathematics, parang, is there anyone here who would like to make mathematics easy? Hey, anyone? Okay, well, actually, mathematics, yes, Ludwig. Ludwig, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Ludwig, do you have something to say? Go on.
Actually, nag-agree lang po ako dun sa kailangan pong padaliin as a math teacher yung subject na mathematics.
Mm-hmm. Okay, or to make it easy, no? That's a good, and that is a noble intention. To make mathematics easy, kasi as you all know, mathematics has never been for everyone, right? Diba? Kasi the context of mathematics, or I mean, lahat tayo, even if we're math majors here, probably most of you chose the subject because you like it, no? Or this is your best subject, diba? Kaya gusto mo siyang ituro, no? Now, I think everyone can agree with me that even though we like mathematics so much, we still find it difficult, right? And sometimes the idea of mathematics being difficult is what drives us, diba? It's what drives us into learning it a little bit more. Diba? Parang we admit to ourselves na math is difficult. It has always been. Diba? Parang there are times that it becomes easy. There are times when it becomes so difficult. Even PhD mathematics teachers, PhD mathematics students, they would say na mathematics is difficult, no? It has never been easy. Of course, it's an achievement to make it easy for the class. Although it's something that is very hard to pull off, right? So thank you for that, no? So ngayon, for me, I don't like to make things. I don't like to make the subject easy because especially when you try to make the subject too easy, nawa-water down siya eh. Ano yung sabihin ng water down? Ito yung time na sa sobrang dali nung pagkakaturo mo, meron ka nang nakakaligtaang details. That is not really the goal of mathematics eh. That's why when you make things too easy, gagawin mo na lang, memorize the steps. Tapos gawin nyo to, tapos na yan. Ganon, di ba? So, there's some caveats in in that kind of procedure, in that kind of goal. No? So for me, and I'm very sure a lot of you will agree na it has to be something relatable. Dapat alam ko kung kailan ko siya magagamit. Okay? Kasi again, we cannot say that everyone will like the subject. No? And in order for us to make sure that everyone will find the subject relatable is, of course, to apply it to real life situations. I think I talked to you about a certain study, no? So nung nag-talk ako diyan sa Faith, ang pangalan nito? Nag-talk ako tungkol doon sa study about yung kay Karaher and Schliemann. So the study is about, I'm just discussing this for the others who weren't able to come there. No, the study has something to do with yung real life math, tsaka yung school math. There are people or there are children who perform so good in real life mathematics. So, ibig sabihin, nagbebenta sila, nakakapag-skip counting sila, nakakapag-multiply and add sila in their minds. Pero pagka ginawa nila yung same thing sa school, parang hindi nila magawa. And that really bothers us kasi hindi dapat ang goal ng mathematics is to make life easy. But the fact that they cannot perform school mathematics and perform real-life mathematics, that becomes questionable. Di ba? Kasi magagawa mo yung real life, tapos yung abstract, yung classroom math, hindi mo gawa. Bakit ganon? Di ba? So, that begs the question. So, there. So, again, we want mathematics to be easy. Sorry. We want mathematics to be relatable. Okay, so sorry about that. Now, this is my first argument. We want to make mathematics relatable. The second argument is this. We have the problems in the current setting. Of course, we are hit by the pandemic and nagkaroon tayo ng modular or self-directed learning. So, kayo ba? Let me just ask you. What is your modality in the current situation? Ano yung ginagawa nyo? Online class ba or strictly modular? Okay. So according to Roy, it's online. So, okay, online. So that's good kasi ibig sabihin nun, merong feedback from the teacher. No, of course, I guess this is the one of the best things, no, to make the most out of this current situation. Okay, thank you for your responses. Now, that is the problem with the current setting. Kasi yung ibang school, especially those who are in the public school, modular. And as you all know, modular, ito yung self-directed learning, or in other words, parang adult kind or adult. It is intended for adults. Adults who have the highest motivation, adults who are working, yung mga ganon, no? So it is really meant for adults. So if you're going to force modular method in to high school students, syempre, as you all know, the motivation is low. The mental health is low. Diba? I mean, ang dami nangyayari. Tapos, gusto mo mag-aral ako. Diba? Mahirap yun. Diba? And also, nawawala ng trabaho yung parents ko, nakukulangan kami sa pera, hindi kami makalabas. Of course, that will take a toll on their mental health. That's why, this kind of modular method is definitely not suited for teenagers. Next, online classes are not required in other schools. No, I have friends in the public school here in Makati, okay, na hindi nila ma-require yung mga bata na mag-online class primarily because alam nila na wala silang access. I mean, that's no? This is in the urban area. Tapos paano pa kaya yung iba? 'Di ba? So, ayun. Weekly, this is the worst. Okay? Weekly submission of requirements. Okay? Parang sa sobrang dami ng pinapagawa ng teacher, hindi na alam na bata kung ano yung gagawin niya, no? I have, as you all know, I got married last year, no? And yung napangasawa ko, meron siyang mga what do you call this? Meron siyang mga kapatid, no? Na high school tsaka college. Tapos sila, talagang nag-online classes sila. Tapos every week kailangan nilang magpasa ng requirements, which is bad. Kasi talagang magpa-pile up yung work. Yung mga batang yan, meron pang gagawin sa bahay yan eh. Maghugas ng plato, maliligo, matutulog, syempre, maglalaro ng ML, all of these things, no? Marami yung gagawin. Tapos when you're giving them this amount of work, they cannot perform it. Of course, they cannot perform it. Diba? Or, what's worse is something like this. No? So, yeah. I just got it from Facebook, no? It's a screenshot from Facebook. So, kaka-proud. Aral ka mabuti, ma. So, the academic integrity is compromised in these kinds of situations. Kasi ito, syempre, since marami yung work, tapos yung parents mo nandyan, syempre tutulungan ka niyan, di ba? And syempre, kung alam ko siya, of course, kung kaya naman ng parents, hindi syempre gagawin niya yan for the students. And mahirap yon, lalo na marami yung bibigay or bulto-bulto yung bibigay. Siyempre, sabihin natin, sige, classroom management, time management, ganyan. Kailangan magaling na kayong mag-time management by that time. I mean, you cannot just say that, no? Especially when everything is going south. You know what I'm saying, no? Maraming nagiging problema. And sila rin, meron din sariling problema. Kaya, they need the help. So, kung marami silang gagawin, syempre gagawin nila, magpapatulong kay mama. Is it bad? I don't think it is. Diba? I think what's wrong with this is the kind of questions that we are asking the students. Ngayon, kung ginagawa natin multiplication table, ganyan, syempre, kayang gawin niya ng calculator. Kayang gawin niya ng parents ko. Bakit ko kailangan gawin niya ng isa-isa? Diba? So when we try to calibrate, when you try to use different kinds of questions, especially those authentic ones, I'm very sure that they will find interest in writing or in doing that. And also, they will find it meaningful for them to do. Diba? Parang, okay, itong pinapagawa ni teacher, konti lang, pero alam kong kaya kong gawin. No? Something na, I can relate to, something that, okay, maganda yun No? So, that can pick their interest. So, another example is this. So, so yung may-ari ng module kumakain, yung mga tita, yung nababother dun sa module, tapos si nanay yung tutulog, no? Another is this. So, yung nanay ng may-ari ng module ay nakaupo, si ate nagsasagot ng module, tapos si bunso or yung may-ari ng module, siya mismo yung nagsiselfie. Pero si ate meron pa siyang sariling module. You know, so I think this kinds of module just gives a lot of requirements without actually ensuring that the students are learning, right? And lastly, ang pinaka mahirap sa lahat, syempre in our part, is yung checking. Diba? In such a way na sobrang dami ng check natin that we actually forget that we are teachers, not checkers. Right? So, teachers tayo, dapat magtuturo. And most of the time, we should be devoting our time in the teaching. So, kung magpe-prepare tayo magturo, kung paano yung pagtuturo natin mismo, ganyan, hindi tayo checkers. Teachers tayo, right? So, it's important thing to consider. Lalo na kunyari ganito, no? So, I admire I'm not sure, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ni Sir, no? Pero, I mean, take a look at this, no? 8 sections to check. So that must take like a huge time of his, a huge amount of his time, right? So, ayun. So that is my second argument, students. First, we want to make mathematics relatable. We want the authentic assessment to be applied now in the context because we're still having problems with the current setting. Now, let me just give you one video. Ito. I guess you have seen this video already. Naririnig nyo? Can you hear it, students?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Alexa, 6 multiplied by 6.
6 times 6 is 36.
What is going on here? No, that is not how you do homework.
Alexa, 4 multiplied by 4.
4 times 4 is 16.
You do realise you'll be doing all this again yourself.
Okay, so I do hope you get the idea, no? So ang ginagawa niya is, syempre, Alexa, yung ganon, no? So kasi, if you're going to ask me, is there something wrong with the child or is the child doing something wrong? Actually, no. That's being resourceful on his part. Okay? Kasi I think the question there, or the problem there is the kind of question that we are asking the students. Kung ganun yung mga question na pwede naman niyang i-Google, or in this case, pwede naman niyang tanungin si Alexa, then gagawin niya yun, di ba? Di ba? Of course, gagawin niya yun. That's why we need to find, or we need to supply the students with these kinds of questions that will actually get them into thinking. Diba? Something, again, that can pick their interest, something that is relatable, something that is useful, and something that goes away with the traditional assessment. Okay? And my third argument for today is this. The curriculum K-12 puts premium to performance tasks. So, kung nakita nyo na yung curriculum itself, okay, yung curriculum guide. I'm going to give you a link for the curriculum guide later on, no? So, they actually put premium on the performance task, or mas marami yung percentage. To give you an example, this one. Ito yung grading system sa grades 1 to 10. And notice na yung performance task for language is 50%, science and math is 40%, MAPE and TLE 60%. So, ganun siya kataas. Okay? Now, pagka grade 12, mas mataas pa yan. Kasi sa grade 12, by the way, I'm teaching general mathematics in the university, and that is considered as a core subject. Now, the performance task there, notice that it's 50%. So, ganun kataas. So, ibig sabihin, there must be something that we want to emphasize here. So, ibig sabihin, we have to put premium into what the students can actually do with their learning. Kung ano yung dapat nilang magawa. Hindi yung kung ano yung matututunan nila, kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin. That's why it's called a performance task, di ba? I mean, we should be able to measure how the student can actually apply these things, this content that we have given them into real life. Okay? So, I hope you can agree with me on this one, no? Wait lang nauubo lang ako. Okay, wait lang. Okay, so that is the the common ailments of the teacher, no? Yung maubusan ka ng hangin, tsaka mauubo ka, no? So, welcome to the teaching profession. So anyway, ano nga ulit yung performance task? Performance tasks are, sorry about that. Performance tasks are the different tasks that we want the students to do, okay? So they may be able to function as a good, or as an asset to the society. Dapat i-measure natin kung ano yung kaya nilang gawin with that kind of knowledge that we're giving them. That is why that it must also come into the instruction as well. Dapat magtuturo tayo ng something that will aim them that will require them to apply this in real life. Okay? So for example, yung quadratic functions. Okay? Yung quadratic functions, paano ma-apply sa totoong buhay yan? Of course, we have area, yung maximizing the area, ganyan. So paano magagamit yun? So ibig sabihin, dapat magtuturo ka ng that is performance related, or something that can be used, no? So kunyari, ikaw ay isang cardboard box manufacturer. So gusto mo na yung box ay minimum, okay? Minimum yung box na pwede mong i-produce, pero the volume is maximum. Or in other words, konti lang yung cardboard box na gagamitin mo, pero yung pwede mong ilagay sa loob ay mas marami. So how can we do that? Or of course, they can do trial and error then. They can use calculus there para malaman nila kung paano yung kukunin lang nila yung maxima doon, 'di ba? So kukunin mo yung maxima ng volume, or maxima nun, or get the first derivative, I guess, no? Get the first derivative, equate it to 0, tapos makukuha mo yung maxima. So yeah, that is how it's supposed to be done. No, we are teaching for them to become a good good contributor to the society. No? Parang pagka nagkaroon siya ng trabaho, kaya niyang gamitin yung mga pinag-aaralan niya. Okay? That is performance task. And we should lean towards these kinds of things. Kasi malaki yung distribution niya sa grading system. So with all these things in mind, first being the what do you call this? The mathematics being relatable. Second, with the current setting that we have, and lastly, with the performance task. Okay, and how much premium we give to the performance task. I think it is important for us to work on the authentic assessment. Now, of course, by the word itself, we know what it is right now, diba? That's why I'm not going to deal or to dwell in too much into the definition too much. So when we say authentic assessment, we are requiring the students to use what they have right now to perform real world tasks and demonstrate meaningful application of essential knowledge and skills. Okay, so next, engaging and worthy problems or questions of importance. By the way, I would like to emphasize on the word engaging. Okay, in which students must use the knowledge to fashion performances effectively and creatively. The tasks are either replicas or analogous to the kinds of problem faced by adult citizens. So ibig sabihin, we should be able to give them a glimpse of the real world. So kunyari gusto nilang maging doktor, ganyan. Gusto nilang maging ecologist, or gusto nilang, let's say, maging bagger. Okay? Bagger, yung nasa supermarket, no? So, yung maglalagay nung commodities doon sa bag, no? So, actually, dapat may way sila to apply these concepts that we are able to teaching them into real life. So, kunyari, kung ecologist ka, we can use the Hollings, what's that again? I forgot the specific term, no? Pero it's some sort of Hollings, no? Let me type it in the chat box. You may want to search about it because this has some applications to rational functions. Hollings, I remember, functional curve, something like that. Hollings functional curve or functional response. Okay, so I type it there. Now, yung Hollings functional response is actually very much what do you call this? It's very much applicable to rational functions. Ganyan. So, kung gusto nilang maging accountant, how can they apply mathematics in accountancy? And by the way, hindi lang yan yung plus minus, ha? Okay? So, when they're studying law, ganyan. When they become a teacher, when they become an economist, all of these things, no? How can we make a certain assessment that can actually tackle all of these things and let them apply everything that they've learned in that specific field of knowledge? Okay? So, by the word itself, authentic assessment, we just want our students to apply everything that they've learned into a real situation. Siyempre, since we want them to apply in a real situation, dapat the way we instruct them, the way we teach them is something that that leans toward authenticity as well. Okay? Hindi tayo magtuturo nung recite the multiplication table. Ganyan. Although, importante din naman yung multiplication table. It's just that we focus on other things. No? So, ayun. I think you get the idea, no? So again, the instruction must lean towards performance as well. Dapat we are just preparing our students, or we are just teaching these bits of knowledge, these bits of information, so that we can actually prepare them into using all of this in a real life situation. Okay? So I hope I'm making sense, no? So let me go with this one. Now, this is the difference, or I would like to tackle the difference between authentic assessment and traditional assessment. Okay, so now, I'm very sure you're familiar with all of these things, no? Pero I just want to highlight some things here na probably you can get something of value. Okay? So, of course, when we talk of authentic assessment, yun nga, it must be applied to real life. Traditional assessment, on the other hand, is the multiple choice items, fill in the blanks, matching type, that will just try to recall everything that they know or everything that they have, everything that we're discussing, you just have to recall it. So, in mathematics, kahit yung application is just a traditional assessment. Kunyari, we ask the students to get the values of x in a quadratic function. Okay? Or, the quadratic equation x squared minus ax squared plus bx plus c. Tama ba ako? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. What are the values of x there? So, dalawa yung makukuha nila. They can use quadratic formula, all of these things. Tapos, tinanong nyo, using quadratic formula, solve for this. Yun ay isang klase ng traditional assessment pa rin. Kasi we find little to no application to real life. Okay? And you just want the students to recall everything that they know. Parang, alam ko to, so gagamitin ko siya dito. Tapos, yun na yun. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pagka natapos na yung gamitin yun doon, dahil tapos na yung quiz or dahil tapos na yung periodic exam, hanggang doon lang yun, ibig sabihin, it doesn't mean anything to them. Diba? The way for them, what I mean is, yung purpose niya ay natapos na dahil tapos na siya mag-test. Diba? So, pero if you're actually teaching them, ito kasi magagamit mo to sa totoong buhay. Okay? Kunyari, pagka ikaw ay, pagka gusto mong gumawa ng isang, let's say, isang cube, okay? Or isang rectangular prism. Okay? So, isang ba nakita rectangular prism? So, gagawa ka, ano yan? Sa engineering din yan. Kasi you're going to use, some figures that will actually, a real life figure na would like to, kung gusto mong magtipid, gusto mong gumamit ng least amount of material with the maximum volume, yung mga ganon, right? So, kung kaya mong magawa yon, then actually, you're using it to real life examples. Okay? So, when we talk of traditional assessment, it's the kind of assessment that forces the student into memorizing things or forcing a student to apply what they learn in a certain test or to a certain test. Now, as you all know, traditional assessment and authentic assessment, they exist in the classroom, no? Let's say I have this, okay? So makita nyo, no? I have this two boxes right here. Tapos, I would like to compare yung traditional assessment tsaka yung authentic assessment. When you try to think about it, traditional assessment, the goal of that school, no? Or the goal of the school is to develop productive citizens. Ganon din naman sa authentic assessment. Gusto natin to develop productive citizens. Gusto natin yan, di ba? Parang gusto natin na pagka gumraduate, makahanap siya ng trabaho, tapos makapag-provide siya sa family niya, and while providing for their family, he's becoming an asset to the society. Dahil kumikita siya, dahil nakakatulong siya sa paglago ng ekonomiya, ay sabihin, produktibong mamamayan siya. Diba? I mean, that's we want that to happen, right? We want to become like that, no? That's why meron tayong nakita na, syempre, I have nothing against them, no? Pero let's say yung tambay. Okay? Pagka tambay, parang tapos alam natin na nakapag-aral din siya, we find it very hard to believe na wala siyang makuha ang trabaho kasi dapat makapagbigay na siya sa economy, or since pinag-aral ka rin ng society. Yeah, that's correct, no? So according to Ferry, thank you for giving me that exact word. Nakakapanghinayang. I'm not saying na he's lost as a person, no? And of course not, no? What I'm saying is, yes, nakakapanghinayang kasi nakapag-aral siya, tapos ngayon hindi siya there's no chance for him to actually give back to the society and to work. So they can provide for himself, provide for his family, and of course provide to the economy. Diba? We want in general, we want to become functioning members of the society. Now, in the traditional camp, and according to them, paano mo masasabi na productive citizen siya? Productive citizen siya kapag alam niya or he must possess certain body of knowledge and skills. Please go to the left side, no? So I'm just discussing the left side. So he must possess a certain body of knowledge and skills. So ibig sabihin, sa kanila, sa palagay nila, magiging valuable or magiging productive citizen ka kapag may alam mo itong mga bagay na to. Ano yung mga yan? Marunong kang mag-multiply, marunong kang mag-add, marunong kang mag-subtract, marunong kang bumasa, marunong kang magsulat, yung mga ganyan. Okay? So, that is how it is, that is how it is in the traditional point of view. So, kung ganun pala, kung masasabi natin na, okay, kung meron siya ng mga skills na yon, productive na siya, dapat ituro natin kung ano yung mga kailangan niyang matutunan. Di ba? So, syempre, tuturuan ka magbasa, tuturuan ka mag-plus, minus, times, divide. And paano mo malalaman kung paano mo malalaman kung natuto ka? So, syempre, gagamit ka ng test. And the test is most of the time traditional. In the authentic assessment, in the right side here in the slide, they believe, of course, na they want to develop productive citizens. And also, they believe that a productive citizen is a person or an individual who is capable of performing meaningful tasks in the real world. So, ibig sabihin, ang concept or ang concentration nito is hindi kung ano yung alam nila, kundi kung ano yung kaya niyang gawin. Okay? I hope you see the difference, no, of the traditional and the real or in the authentic assessment. Kasi pagka traditional, alam natin na magiging productive siya kasi alam niya to. On the other hand, sa authentic assessment, magiging productive citizen siya kasi kaya niyang gawin to. Don't you think it's a little progressive? Diba? That kind of thinking is very much progressive kasi hindi porket alam niya magiging productive citizen na siya agad, no? A person who is actually capable of doing things in real life is actually more productive than the other one. Right? So, ngayon, since gusto nating makita na kaya niya mag-perform, dapat yung school pwede siya dapat or yung school mismo bibigyan siya ng chances in order for him to perform all of these things, no? So ibig sabihin, dapat nakasentro tayo doon sa ano yung pwede niyang magawa with all the things that he has right now, with all the things that is asked, is taught to him, ano yung pwede niyang magawa? Diba? And how do we test that? Of course, with the use of an authentic assessment. Bibigyan natin siya ng isang real-world situation, and with all the things that he has right now, how can he apply it in real life? Okay? So these are the two camps in the assessment. We have traditional and authentic. And of course, we should lean towards an authentic assessment kasi yung traditional assessment is an old book. Okay? Luma na yan. Ayan yung mga sorry. Ayan yung mga times na, ayun mo yun, ito yung mga industrial age. Wherein, ang kailangan mong gawin ay kailangan mong matutunan to so you can perform. Kunyari, industrial age, alam mo dapat paano ka magbalot ng, let's say, ng ganito. Let's put it in this context. Dapat marunong ka magbalot ng isang equipment. Okay? Balot, ibig sabihin, you cover it. Okay? So ngayon, ang gagawin mo, you have to follow steps. So step 1 is yung left, ilalagay mo dyan, tapos tape mo. Yung kabila, tape mo. Tapos sa taas, tapos sa likod. Ganyan. So tapos na yon. So ibig sabihin, pag natutunan mo na yung steps na yon, tapos napunta ka doon sa totoong buhay, kailangan mo lang gawin yon. Parang robot. Di ba? So, basta, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, tapos. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, tapos. 'Di ba? So that is traditional assessment. Yun yung alam mo lang. Pero ngayon, we are gearing towards a progressive movement wherein we try to think, ano yung pwede mong magawa in the future? Or ano yung kaya mong gawin in the future? In the real life. 'Di ba? So, kasi yung kabila, steps lang yon. Oh, sige, nag-perform siya. Pero it is guided by series of steps. Para kang robot. On the other hand, yung performance as a person, as a productive member of the country or as a productive citizen. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ba nun? Of course, we gear towards authentic assessment. But does this mean that we have to totally abandon the traditional assessment? Anyone here? Anyone? Would like to answer me? Okay lang yan. Don't be shy. Anyone who would like to, I would like to give his thoughts or her thoughts about totally abandoning the traditional assessment. Ibig sabihin ba nun, kung gusto natin authentic assessment, ibig sabihin ba nun, kailangan lahat authentic assessment? Okay. So according to Roy, hindi naman po. According to Fernando, hindi rin. According to Lovely, hindi rin. Angelica, hindi rin. Okay, anyone here would like to give their own point of view? Yes, you're correct. And I agree with you. No? Hindi porket authentic assessment, lagi na lang ganon. What do you think? Okay, so according to Roselia, no, there should be balance. Okay, so I like that answer. Anyone else? Sige, just turn on your audio. Go on. Do you think dapat ba totally abandon or you put a little part of it here and there?
I have something to share po.
Okay, go on, Roselia.
I think po there should be balance between the traditional and the authentic. Hindi po siya dapat totally traditional lang or authentic lang. Parang it's they're supporting each other. If the traditional assessment cannot really assess or evaluate the student's performance, then there comes po the authentic assessment na magsusupport din sa data. And vice versa din po, parang ganun.
Okay. I like the word that you have used, no? Yung support, no? So ibig sabihin, I like that word, no? Actually, the word the back of my mind, the word that I would like to use is complement, no? But I like the word, I actually like your word better, no? Support. Okay? Very nice, no? Miss Rapsing. So, gaya na sabi niya, there should be balance, no? And the traditional assessment must support the authentic assessment. So, remember the traditional assessment must support the authentic. So, ibig sabihin, the mainstay there is the authentic assessment. Ibig sabihin, yun muna yung kailangan natin gawin. Tapos, isusupport na lang natin ang traditional. So, it's like 70-30%, 70%, 30% na authentic assessment and then 30% na traditional assessment. It's I think we can put it in this manner, no? Let me give you an example. Okay. Ganito. Let's say may let's say you are a you are a CEO and then kailangan mong sorry about that. Kailangan mong maghanap ng chauffeur or ng driver. Okay, since marami ka nang gagawin, kailangan may driver ka na. Ngayon, who would you prefer? Who would you prefer as a driver? Yung driver na maingat mag-drive, yung driver or maingat siya mag-drive, hindi siya masyado mabilis, and kung kailangan mabilis naman siya mag-drive, maingat siya sa kotse, pero hindi siya nakapasa ng written exam sa LTO. On the other hand, you have another person who passed the written exam in the LTO, pero barumbado siya mag-drive. So, ang bigat ng paa, you know what I'm saying? When I say mabigat yung paa, yung brake niya is sobrang hard, no? Mapapa-forward ka dahil sa sobrang bigat ng paa niya pagka nagbe-brake siya. Hindi siya maingat sa makina, hindi siya maingat sa kotse itself. Okay, so which are you going to choose? Of course, if you're going to ask me, none. Okay? Hindi. Actually, I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to choose any. Okay? Kasi yung isa magaling pero wala siyang lisensya. So there is a chance na mahuhuli kami along the highway. Yung isa naman, I'm not even sure kung makakadating kami ng highway kasi hindi siya magaling mag-drive, di ba? Or hindi siya maayos mag-drive, di ba? So you get the idea. So ibig sabihin, it's important to have a chauffeur who knows how to drive, okay? Who knows how to drive. So ibig sabihin, it has something to do with performance, okay? Who is good in maintaining the car. Actually, yon is a performance and a traditional one. Kasi kung maingat ka sa makina, ibig sabihin, alam mo rin yung parts. So this is the engine. This is the crankshaft. This is the wheel. These are the wheels. This is the steering wheel. This is the ano yung cambio sa English? You get that, no? This is the emergency brake. So yung mga yon are actually, of course, the different things na you have to keep in mind, no? Dapat alam mo yung mga yon. So ibig sabihin traditional yon. Right? It's not just about the performance. That alam niya rin yon. Pangat-apat, alam din niya yung traffic sign. 'Di ba? Yung traffic sign, it's not performance, ha? Yung traffic sign is actually traditional. It's not authentic kasi ano yung ibig sabihin kapag kulay red yung traffic sign? Ibig sabihin nun danger. Pagka kulay blue, it's a requirement. Yung mga ganon. So, pagka green light, ibig sabihin go. Pagka blinking, you have to be cautious. Ganyan. So, yung mga ganyan, these are terms. These are contents. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan malaman mo yun or matutunan mo yun. So, ibig sabihin, there should be balance between performance and knowledge. Okay? So, I think that's the best example that I can give. Okay, so I do hope you agree with me in that one. No? So it's a balance between performance and performance and content. So let me go to my presentation. So to answer this, it's not. Okay? Or no, not. It's no. So ito. Developing an authentic assessment. So these are just steps. I'm not going to go into the details of this kasi of course you can look for it. You can actually do it. No? Let me just give you some things in between these steps right here. So when you're doing an authentic assessment, first, you must be able to identify the learning objectives. So ayan yung nandun sa curriculum guide. So, kunyari, the students must be able, may example, no? The students must be able to apply the concept of probability in real life. Ganyan. So, yun yung learning objectives. Pangalawa, define relevant task. Itong define relevant task, this is, I would say, the trickiest part because ito yung part wherein you will be actively looking for a task that actually embodies that specific knowledge. So, ibig sabihin, ito na yung part na application sa totoong buhay. Ito yung, gaya na sabi ko, mahirap siya kasi kailangan mong magbasa. Kailangan mong mag-search. Kailangan mo i-ensure that what you're saying is true. Talagang magagamit mo siya sa totoong buhay. Okay? So, ako, ang example ko niyan, actually, I just thought of this example for the last minute, no? Gusto kong bigyan example ay yung poker. Okay? Yung poker, Anyone here who's playing poker, by the way? Anyone who is playing poker or who knows how to play poker? Sige, just raise your hand. I'm not going to tell your principal about this. No, yeah, okay. Sorry. So we have John Kenneth. Okay, me, konti po. Don't worry, it's fine. No? So, sino naglalaro dito ng pusoy? Yan, pusoy, tong its, all of these things. So, si Roy, okay, nice. Okay, so, yan, yung mga naglalaro ng ganyan. Actually, if you try to think about it, especially pagka, pagka, when you're in the competition kind of thing, hindi yung hobby, no? Pagka hobby kasi, there's no really, there's not really nothing at stake, no? Unless meron kayong yung papahiran niyo siya ng pulbo sa mukha, gano'n. So, that's the consequence or something like that, no? Okay, so, unggoy-ungguyan. Okay, so, ayan, uling pa. So, according to Marjorie, uling daw ipapahid sa mukha, no? Very, very bad na, very bad na consequence, no? So, it's not good for the, for the skincare. But anyway, what I'm saying is, etong mga to, actually, kunyari, pagka nagpo-poker ka, meron tinatawag na royal flush. Let me just put it here. Royal flush. Merong full house. Merong tinatawag na, two of a kind. Merong straight. Merong flush. Merong straight flush. So, itong mga to, actually, yung mga yan, they're may mas malaki or may mas preferred dyan as compared with the other. For example, yung full house, mas malaki siya or mas may laman siya or in a way, mas preferable siyang makuha as opposed to three of a kind. Okay? So, yung full house, ibig sabihin nun, tatlong magkakatulad na three, o kaya tapos, dalawang magkatulad din. So, let's say ace. Ganyan. So, meron dito nakalagay, trio. That's correct, no? I think trio is three of a kind. I'm not sure, no? Full house, straight, four of a kind. That's correct. So, these are the terms in poker. Now, have you ever asked yourself, bakit kaya mas mataas yung royal flush kesa sa straight flush? Bakit kaya mas mataas yung full house kesa sa two of a kind? Okay? So yes, that's correct, Roy. It has something to do with probability. So if we can actually ask the students, how can we or how much probability can we get if how much or what are the chances of getting a royal flush? Ganyan, di ba? So these are authentic tasks. So if you're going to ask or probably you're going to ask me, sir, bakit ganun? Sabi mo kanina, real life situation and it must emanate a certain role in the society or it must emanate a certain job in the future. Actually, hindi naman kailangan na ginagawa ng isang, hindi naman kailangan na it has something to do with jobs. It has something to do with work. No? It can be something about fun, about leisure. No? It's just that you want to mathematize. Let me type that, mathematize. Okay? Or you want to make it, how do I put this? You want to put mathematics to almost everything. That's what we call as mathematize. Okay? So you want to mathematize everything. Or mathematicize. I don't know. Okay? Pero you get the idea, no? You want to put mathematics to everything. Hindi yung you're just relying on chances when you're doing poker. Okay? So, ayun. That's correct, no, Roseanne? It must be relatable in all aspects of life. It doesn't have to be just your job, something about your profession, pero pwede rin sa leisure, pwede rin sa fun activities, ganyan. Okay? Kanyari, lotto, yung mga ganyan. Okay? So, that's defining relevant task. Third one is identify essential performance criteria. Or, in other words, kung ano dapat yung expected na magawa ng bata. Okay? So, kunyari, pagka ano mo nito, pagka bigay mo objectives, they must learn about probability. Second, define relevant task. So yun nga, isa poker. Pangatlo, essential performance criteria. The student must be able to define or to determine the probabilities of each kind of combinations. So kunyari, royal flush, ilang beses siya nangyayari? Anyone here? Ilang beses lang siya mangyari? So you're going to have 5. Okay, 5 cards. How many chances or ilang beses lalabas yung royal flush? Anyone? 4 times. That's correct, lovely. That's correct. 4 na beses lang siya. So king, queen, jack, ace, tsaka 10 na hearts, clubs, spades, tsaka diamonds. So 4 na beses lang siya. Now, out of all possibilities, ilan lahat ng possibilities? Ilan? What do you think? Let me just check using my calculator kasi hindi ko rin alam. Okay. So, sige. Yes, that's correct, no? Actually, it's 52, choose 5. So, it has something to do with combination. So, 52, choose 5. Or the combination of 52 taken 5 at a time. So, if you're going to compute for that, that's like 52 taken 5. Wala akong ano. Wait lang, i-compute ko lang. Or if you have a calculator, you just have to type it there. So sige. Where is that? Ito, scientific calculator. Sorry about that. 52. Okay, there and then 5. Oh, it's not working. Nice. Okay. So, according to Roy, it's 2,598,960. So, according to Lovely, it's 2 million. Okay. So, yeah, I think by the way they were able to solve it, it's 2 million. So, ibig sabihin, if you're going to choose 5 out of the 52 cards in the deck, that is 2 million chances or 2.6 million chances. Ganun kadami. Tapos, 4 lang ang pwede maging royal flush. Next, let's talk of 3 of a kind. 3 of a kind. Okay, 3 of a kind is a little tricky. Kasi, you just have to choose first kung anong card yung magti-triple. Okay? So, ganito yung computation yan. You just have to choose first kung ano yung magti-triple. So, that's 13 taken 1. Times, dun sa isang yon, dapat 3 yung makuha mo. Okay? What do you mean by that? So, kunyari, piliin mo muna kung anong number. So, let's say, napili mo yung 5. Ngayon, yung 5 na yon, dapat makuha mo yung 3 out of the 4 suits. Okay? So, how do you compute for that? 4, choose 3. I'm just typing here, no? Times, yung dalawa naman na yung magdodoble. So, yung magdodoble ay you just have to choose one number. So, let's say, ang number is 7. So, that's 12 taken 1. And then, times ulit, yung 7 na yon, ilang suits yon? 4 pa rin. So, 4 taken 2. Yan. So, that's the computation. 13C1 times 4C3 times 12C1 times 4C2. Kala mo nag-order ng chicken sa McDo or sa Jollibee or something like that, no? So that's the idea of that's the idea of 3 of a kind. Or no, that's 3 of a kind. It's the full house. Ganyan, 'di ba? So yeah, that's the concept behind probability. And lastly, you have to develop a rubric. So the rubric will, kasi if you try to think about it, authentic assessment can be subjective. Okay? Kasi maaaring yung sagot niya ay sagot din ng isa, maaaring yung sagot ng isa ay magkaiba dun sa isa. And with that being said, we need to have a certain standard. That's why we have a rubric. Okay? I know this is a subjective kind of thing, no? Yung authentic assessment can be subjective at times. That is why we want to make sure, itong assessment na to can still have its authenticity and become an objective as well. Okay? So, ayan. Okay, so na-compute na ni Lovely. It's 54,912. So, thank you for that, no? So, I actually forgot how to compute for that. Okay? So, mamaya, bibigyan ko kayo ng ideas on how to make a legitimate, authentic assessment. Okay. Let me go to this one. I have the following assessment sample. Bibigyan ko kayo later ng Google link. So, I will attach it there. So, you can use that in your classrooms. No? Kayo bahala, no? Kung paano niyo siya gagamitin. So, itong solar system, I actually made this. It's a lesson on conic sections. Let me show it to you. I hope you can see it. Wait lang. Ito. Okay. Can you see it, students? Nakikita nyo ba siya?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So, nakita nyo na STEM pre-cal kasi there was a time na I was able to teach pre-cal sa senior high school. Tapos nung pandemic to February 27, 2019. Actually, before the pandemic pa pala ito. So, anyway, ang discussion namin is about conic sections. Now, yung conic sections, meron niyang 4, di ba? Yung ellipse, hyperbola, parabola, and what's the other one? Hyperbola, parabola, ellipse, tsaka yung did I forget something? Circle? All of these things. Anyway, etong conic sections, we focus on one thing, it's ellipse. And you may notice na yung orbit ng solar system actually resembles an ellipse. And because it is an ellipse, okay? Or let me just discuss first, no? So ellipse, as you all know, meron siyang ano pangalan nito? Focus. Actually, foci ang tawag. 'Di ba? Foci. So we'll call it foci in the senior high school, no? Yung foci, ito yung point, no? Ito yung point na wherein you have this certain point on the ellipse, 'di ba? Pag in-add niyo daw 'yon, it's always constant. Okay. Ngayon, let's assume that the sun is is located in one of the focus. Okay, or in one of the foci. Tapos, you will notice that actually the planets move in an elliptical manner. In such a way na merong time na malapit siya sa sun and merong time na malayo siya sa sun. Right? So, ang nangyari dyan, ang ginawa ko ay I discovered this one by reading something. And that is the phenomenon perihelion when it is close to the sun and aphelion when it is far from the sun. Very interesting, no? Kasi this is very much apart from the typical mathematics. And then I searched about this data, okay? That talks about the different eccentricities of the orbits and the perihelion and the aphelion. Notice that yung Mercury, the orbital eccentricity of that is 0.206. So, ibig sabihin, habang palaki yung eccentricity, excuse me, habang palaki eccentricity, pa-flat yung ellipse. Or in other words, if this is the circle, flat siya na ganon. Okay? So, that's orbital eccentricity. Now, yung perihelion, this is the time wherein it is close to the sun, di ba? And we use the unit AU or astronomical unit. Excuse me. So sorry about that, no? I just got carried away with all of these things. But anyway, yung perihelion, yun yung time na malapit siya sa sun. Yung aphelion, yung malayo siya sa sun. And we measure that using astronomical unit. Take note that we are using legitimate, okay? they are using legitimate terms. We are using yung AU, and we define what AU is, yung all of yung lahat ng to. And then the task is for them to draw all of the heavenly bodies together with their orbits in a certain Cartesian plane with the sun at the origin. So parang ganito. Ganyan. So merong Cartesian plane, tapos ito yung sun, tapos lahat nandyan. Makikita mo na magkakalapit. No? Pagka nagawa nyo na to, makikita nyo na magkakalapit yung Mercury, Venus, Earth, tsaka Mars. Magkakalapit yan. Tapos yung Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto, sobrang layo ng distance nila together from each other. Okay? So, very, very nice task. No? So, ibig sabihin, they were able to visualize what it looks like kapag yung orbit. And there is a chance there na yung, I'm not sure, no? I cannot remember. Na yung Neptune, usually is mas malapit siya sa Pluto. Diba? Or sorry, yung Neptune, mas malapit siya sa Sun as compared with Pluto. But there is an instance wherein Pluto is actually nearer to Sun than Neptune is. Okay? So, may chance na ganon. So, that is the time that they actually discover na, okay, this can happen pala at a certain part of time. Diba? So, I do hope na you see the beauty in these kinds of, it makes children think. It makes children wonder, okay, ganun pala yung nangyayari, no? Why is it so, why does it follow an elliptical kind of pattern? Anong mangyayari kapag yung orbital eccentricity ay maliit? For example, in the Earth, no? You notice that in this data that the orbital eccentricity of Earth is actually very low, 0.017, in such a way that the perihelion 0.98 and aphelion 1.002 are actually very near to each other. Kaya when we try to evaluate this, yung perihelion ng Earth doesn't really have any effect at all. Okay? So, ano ibig kong sabihin nun? Pagka perihelion, usually, since malapit tayo sa sun, dapat mainit. Diba? Tapos, pagka aphelion, dapat malayo sa sun. So, sabihin, malamig. Pero, actually, since the distance or the astronomical unit is very near. Okay? Kasi 0.98 yung isa 1.02. Hindi mo makikita yung effect. Mas malaki yung effect dahil sa tilting of the axis. Okay? So, they should be able to justify all of these things. And they should be able to find out, okay, this is how it goes. Since eccentricity is huge, ibig sabihin talagang malayo siya sa isa't isa. Okay? I do hope you share the kind of enthusiasm that I have when I'm doing this kind of exam or this kinds of assessment. Okay? Ito yung performance task nila noon. And that kind of task, I'm very sure that's worthy of 50%. Right? So kung i-grade ko to, tapos nakasalala yung grade ng mga bata dito, I can definitely say na, yes, this is really worth pursuing, or this is really worth grading 50% ng grades. Kasi alam kong pagka nagawa niya to, alam kong, okay, matututunan, or alam ko na, how do I put this? I'm a loss of at words, no? What I'm saying is, alam ko na pagka nagawa niya to, alam kong na-gets niya yung lesson. Right? So, yeah, I'm very sure na na-gets niya yung lesson, and I really don't have any reason for me to fail him or to give him a low mark. Kasi alam na niya na-gets niya. And that kind of thing, that cannot be just searched in the internet. Kasi alam ko na dapat sila mismo yung gagawa. Kasi I'm very sure magkakaiba rin yung sagot niya, no? So these are examples of legitimate authentic. Legitimate na, authentic pa, no? So, legitimate, authentic assessment. So, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, let me just give you one more. Ito, yung poker. So, I search, this one can actually be searched sa Wikipedia. Actually, this is just a screen capture in the Wikipedia. Papasin nyo yun na yung royal flush. Okay? Yung computation niya is this. And it's on the right side. Straight flush. Ganito yung computation niya. 4 of a kind. Full house. Flush. Straight. 3 of a kind. Meron pang isa. 2 pair. 1 pair. Tsaka yung no pair. So lahat yan. Sorry about that. So lahat yan naka-compute na. Well, of course, you cannot just use that in an authentic assessment, no? Pero I guess what we can do on the other hand is to make them explain. Bakit nakuha yung 4 choose 1? Bakit may minus ka? Bakit naging 52 choose 5 yung total probabilities? But still, well, yes, it can be, it can be acquired in the Wikipedia, pero it needs to be explained further. Okay? So, ayun lang. Roy, overtime na ba? Sorry,
Di pa naman pause.
Okay. Sige. So, let me go to the last one, the last of the 3 objectives. We're able to justify the need for authentic assessment. The second one is to differentiate the two, authentic and traditional assessment. And lastly, yung mga problems or yung the different challenges that people are having when it comes to doing an authentic assessment. Ito. So again, authentic assessment challenges. So why do teachers prefer a traditional assessment over authentic assessment? Siyempre, it has something to do with the different challenges that come with authentic assessment. Okay? Can anyone give me an example? Ano kaya yung particular challenges that the teachers face when doing an authentic assessment in such a way that it's much of a challenge that they just want to go to the traditional one because they find it easy. Yes, sige. Okay. Wait lang ha. So, mahirap i-craft or the way that it is being produced, no? That's correct, no? That's one. According to, that's correct as well, no? Army Palmes, grading system. Correct yun. Kasi ang grading system would actually favor, okay? Especially sa grade 1 to 10, the grading system will usually favors yung written works. So sa written works talagang mostly traditional yan. Kasi yan yung mga multiple choice, ganyan. And that's 40%. Yung performance task is also 40%, pero since we do not have an exact idea of what performance task is, nilalagay natin yung mga assignment doon, yung mga project, yung mga portfolio, yung mga ganyan, doon na hindi naman dapat, no? One thing din pala, when we talk of performance task, hindi yun yung magpe-perform ka, ha? Okay? Kasi I've seen a lot of teachers doing this na since performance task, ang gagawin mo ay magpe-perform ka ng math jingle, ng math rap, ng sayaw tungkol sa math. These are not performance tasks, okay? So, alam niyo yan, di ba? I'm very sure na you have a teacher din na pinapagawa sa inyo sumulat kayo ng tula tungkol sa math na para maintindihan niyo yung lesson. Pero actually, hindi mo maintindihan yung lesson pag gumawa ka ng tula. I'm not saying na we just want to strip the creativity away from the students. It's not that. It's just that the way we assess things must be towards the understanding. No? Alam natin na may matututunan siya. Hindi yung gumawa siya ng tula, tapos nakalagay doon kung paano mo i-solve yung quadratic equation. Hindi ganon, okay? So please, let's keep that, no? Or let us not do that in the classroom. Okay? So, sige, anyone? So, according to Roy, mahirap i-craft. Army, the grading system. Rose, according to her, setting rubric. That's correct kasi the rubric itself is time-consuming. And with that being said, the way or the checking, di ba? Yung pag-check na authentic assessment will take a lot of time. For me, kung mag-check ka ng iisang authentic assessment as opposed to tons of traditional assessment, I would prefer checking authentic assessment. Kasi syempre, iisa lang yon, tapos alam ko may matututunan talaga yung mga bata. Diba? Kasi pagka traditional assessment, yes, sige, magagawa nila. Pero sino ba talaga yung gumawa? Or may natutunan ba talaga sila sa ginagawa nila? Right? So sige, anyone else? So, mahirap i-craft. The rubric is difficult to do. The grading system favors one over the other. Anyone else? So, sige, I have prepared here the different challenges. Now, this is given to you not because I want to frustrate you. Na mahirap talagang gumawa ng authentic assessment. It doesn't work like that, or that's not the purpose here, no? I just want you to understand that there are teachers who would prefer traditional assessment because of these kinds of challenges. What are these? Nature of data. Okay? So, what do you mean by nature of data? Sir, kasi, kunyari, statistics. Pagka statistics, as you all know, it deals with a lot of estimates. Pagka nagawa ka, let's say yung population, pagka nag-project ka ng population, or in other words, you're going to predict the population, you will find there na meron kang decimal, which is of course impossible to happen. Kasi syempre, ano yan eh, tao yan, we're talking of humans, we're talking of people, we're talking of the population. Of course, walang decimal yan. And there are times wherein our projection is actually very far from the real thing. Diba? So, kunyari, magpe-predict ka ng population ng 2021. So, pero ginawa mo siya 2017 without taking into account COVID. Right? So, wala ka namang idea kung anong mangyayari kung magkaka-COVID. Diba? So, yung projection mo ng 2021 might be very off by millions of people. Kasi, as you all know, sa COVID ngayon, may namamatay. Diba? So, sabihin, may nababawas dun sa projected amount natin. So, what I'm trying to say here, it's the nature of data. It is actually very messy. Okay? Yung sabihin ng messy, yung Filipino is madumi or makalat. Ganyan. So, ibig sabihin, if you're teaching exact subject, I mean, we dub mathematics as the exact science, pero our predictions are always off. So, ano yun, di ba? Especially when you're dealing with statistics. The nature of data can be a little messy. Next is this. Testing traditions. Pagka ikaw nag-NCAI ka, o kaya pagka nag-NAT, very sure lahat kayo na-experience yung NCAI tsaka yung NAT, mapapansin nyo na lahat yon traditional assessment yon. Fill in the blanks. Multiple choice. Who killed, let's say, Magellan? Ganyan. What happened in 1981? Who is the first Filipino, who is the first female Filipino president? Na mga ganon. So, yan, traditional yan eh. Okay? So, kung gusto natin, especially sa mga public schools, no? Kung gusto ng public school na tumaas yung NAT nila, syempre, hindi nila tuturuan yung mga bata ng something that will take them or that will waste their time. Kasi nga, yung goal nila is to pass the NAT. You know what I'm saying, right? Kasi yung mga high-stakes test na yan, katulad ng NAT tsaka ng NCAI, dahil nasiset yung standards ng school dyan, gusto natin, turuan na sila kung paano sila magsagot sa NAT. So, ibig sabihin, kung gusto nating turuan na magsagot ng traditional assessment, the instruction becomes traditional as well. and gives us very little time to actually implement an authentic assessment and an authentic instruction. Okay? So these are the problems. Next one is equity concerns. Ganyan. Ano yung sabihin equity concerns? Pansin nyo na pagka math class, laging kulang sa oras. Diba? Okay? So, I'm very sure pagka naging teacher na kayo niyan, lagi kayong kulang sa oras. No? Yung first day pa lang ng klase, sabihin mo, okay, we're behind schedule, ganyan. So, bakit? Ano ba meron? Kasi, in the teacher's mind, in the mathematics teacher's mind, inisip nila, dapat lahat ma-cover mo. Okay? Or lahat ng bata dapat makuha ito. That has something to do with equity. Dapat lahat ng bata ay matutunan ito. So, ibig sabihin, kung kailangan matutunan ito lahat, wala na akong time para maggawa pa ng mga authentic assessment na yan. Okay? Kasi, gusto ko lahat sila maturo. And kung marami yan, anong gagamitin natin? Lecture method. So, pag lecture method, ang assessment yan, traditional din. Eh, sabihin, walang authentic assessment. Diba? So, that's the problem. The next one is difficulty. Gaya ng sabi kanina, the way it is being done, gaya ng sabi ni, I think, ni Roy, tsaka ni Rose, the way it is, or the way, the effort that we need to put into making an authentic assessment is very much high as compared to traditional assessment. Kasi pag traditional assessment, kuha ka lang ng book, tapos i-type mo yung question, bigay mo sa bata, tapos na yon, diba? Pagka-authentic assessment, kailangan magre-revise ka na magre-revise. Okay? That's just the giving of the test or thinking of the test. Paano yung checking? So, checking medyo mahirap din yan kasi may rubric, hindi katulad pagka-traditional na check, 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 X, check, check, ganun lang, diba? So, next is teaching challenges. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay I have nothing against the seasoned teachers, no? So actually, yung seasoned teachers are those teachers who had the most experience with teaching. Pero yung mga seasoned teachers or the teachers who are in the profession for a long time, meron na yung mga naipon. Okay? So ano ibig sabihin na ipon? Meron mga naipon na yan na Manila paper, may mga naipon na yan na mga question na ginagamit nila every time. Ngayon, since ginagamit nila every time yon, most of it traditional. And it will take a lot of challenge in the part of the teacher to do an authentic assessment. Kasi, syempre, yung mga Manila paper na tinago-tago nila sa tagal ng panahon, hindi na nila magagamit. Dahil hindi na nila magagamit, kailangan nilang mag-isip pa ng bago. And of course, dahil mag-isip ka ng bago, that's a lot of work, so hindi mo nagagawin yun. Diba? So, that is a challenge for the teachers as well. Okay, I think that's the last one for today. Okay? So, okay. So, sorry, I wasn't able to go over your responses, no? But I think we still have time. Roy, may time pa ba? I just want to give some final thoughts.
Yes po, sir. Go on.
Okay. Thank you. So, these are my final thoughts, no? So, since you're in faith, I would like to end with a certain verse in the Bible, no? Kasi nung nag-start kami ng second semester sa UST, our regent, no, Father Ermito de Sagon, gave us this homily. And I would like to share this one kasi it's very important. It's very nice to think about it in this manner. So let me read it. It was taken from Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 to 22. So it says, as Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Okay? And then, come, follow me, Jesus said, and I will make you fishers of men. And at once they left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets. Jesus called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Okay? So, sir, ano namang connection nito sa ginagawa natin ngayon na authentic assessment, no? Kasi Father Desagon started with this kind of question. Bakit sa lahat, okay? Bakit sa lahat ng tao, bakit fishermen ang kinuha ni Jesus? Or bakit fishermen? Kasi if you think, if you check the Bible, Jesus is a carpenter. He's a son of a carpenter. So bakit hindi karpentero yung kinuha niya? Okay? So it actually ask you these things, no? Ano pa? Bakit hindi tax collector? Bakit hindi those rich people? Bakit hindi sundalo? Bakit hindi you know what I'm saying, no? So bakit of all the people that Jesus has encountered, he chose the fishermen, or he chose these fishermen? Bakit kaya, no? Anyone? Palagay nyo, bakit niya pinili? Bakit niya pinili puro fishermen? Kasi para magamit niya yung fishers of men? Hindi, I don't think Jesus wanted to, that's not the only reason of Jesus. So, kasi parang ganda pakinggan ng fishers of men, no? Sige, kuha tayo dun sa mga fishermen. I don't think it's that, okay? So, sige, what do you think? Anyone? What do you think? Why did Jesus wanted fishermen? Okay, so sige, let me share it to you, no? According to Father Ermito Desagon, probably it has something to do with the preaching. Oh, actually, someone messaged me. Okay, ito. Wait lang, ha? So, siguro, kasi trabaho po ng fishermen provide ng paunahing pangangailangan. Siguro, para masukat yung faith ng mga isda because they provide food. Okay? So, these are interesting theories, no? Pero according to Father Desagon, I didn't really realize this until sinabi niya. It has something to do with the preaching, or it has something to do with the teaching component of their work. Kasi alam niya, at any point in time, he will be crucified. No, Jesus knows that, of course. At a certain point in his life, he will be crucified, and he needs some people to preach for him. Right? Kaya una niyang tinawag si Simon, who would later become the Pope, 'di ba? Or who will later become the rock into which the church will be will stand, no? So yeah, you get the idea. Now, so ano naman, sir? Ano namang meron sa pagiging teacher? Okay, by the way, I'm using preacher and teacher interchangeably, no? So, anong meron naman sa teacher tsaka sa pagiging fisherman? Ano namang connection nila? Kasi when you try to look at the work of fishermen, it's very much related with the work of a teacher. And what is that? And he gave us this specific sentence, no? So according to fishermen, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. We cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. Or in other words, we cannot really force students into thinking, into our thinking. We cannot force the pandemic to turn itself out para mawala na lahat. But what we can do as a teacher is to adjust our sails. That is why we need to go from a traditional assessment to an authentic one, so that to ensure that students are really learning from this experience. Okay? We cannot just force students of course, we know students right now, they are very less motivated, or they're less motivated. They do not appreciate those who give them a hard time, those tasks that seem to be boring to them. But we cannot just tell them na kami, nung bata kami, hindi kami pwedeng ganyan. We cannot force them to do that, no? Kasi that's their generation. We cannot direct the wind. No, but we can adjust the sails. Or in other words, we can do our own thing so that they can actually learn from us. No, so that is how I would like to wrap up my talk, and I hope you learned something of value in this talk. Okay, thank you very much.
Yan. So, once again po, thank you, Sir Amel, for that very interactive and informative talk.
Thank you.
Indeed, mathematics is more than just what we see in books. No? And crafting authentic assessment, it really poses a challenge for us teachers, but for sure, it will be all worth it and meaningful pag na-make sure natin na meaningful yung learning ng mga students natin. And of course, for sure, all of us have learned a lot of valuable insights that we can use for our career. For sure, lahat ng mga participants natin ngayon, maraming napulot na aral. So, future teachers, we will now proceed to the open forum. So, if you have questions or you want to share your insights, you may press the raise hand button or you may chat it in our chat box. So, yung may mga questions po, pwede po kayo mag-chat sa ating chat box. So, siguro sir, mag-start na lang po ako sa question ko po. So, tanong ko lang po sir, how can we make sure na, since diba need nga po siya, paano po natin hindi siya ma-overhype? Alam niyo po yun na parang puro authentic assessment na lang, ganyan. Paano po kaya natin ma-maintain yun nga po, yung napag-usapan kanina na balance po nung
Okay. So actually, I don't really have a magic number, no? Especially kapag yung mga let me just clear that out, no? Wala ko nung magic number wherein we have a certain percentage kung ano yung authentic tsaka kung ano yung traditional. Pero I have noticed though na yung grade 1, they have more traditional, okay? Or they have a lot of traditional assessment. Kasi syempre that is the time that they are actually building the skills or they're building the knowledge. So ngayon, as we go up to grade 3, grade 5, grade 10, doon dapat na dumadami na or mas dumadami na yung authentic assessment. Okay? So, pagkauna sa mga bata, siguro okay lang kahit papaano marami ng konti yung traditional assessment. Pero habang lumalaki siya, we want him or we want the child to be exposed to the real world. Kung ano yung mga usual na tanong sa totoong buhay. Okay? Kaya parami yung authentic assessment. Tapos, pagka grade 11, grade 12, especially in the special subjects, dapat yung performance na will be like 90% and 10% na lang yung traditional. Kasi, we want them to perform na eh. And they have now an idea of, they should now have an idea of what's going to happen in the future. Diba? So, we should give them the idea na, ito na yung gagawin mo. So, dapat kailangan mahanda ka na sa mga sa mga kailangan mong gawin in the future. I hope I was able to answer your question, Roy.
Yes po, sir. Okay, so meron po tayo another techniques or tips po, sir, how to create an authentic assessment, lalo na po ngayon na online po yung learning.
Okay. Sige. Techniques or tips. Okay. But first, kailangan nagbabasa ka. Okay? That's the challenge. That's the constant challenge of making an authentic assessment. Kasi it must come from something it must come from something that is legitimate, that's something that is true. So paano yung sir, gusto ko ng something related to nursing. Pero hindi naman ako nurse. Diba? That's the usual That's the usual dilemma of the teachers. And I guess the only way for us to deal with this is to actually read a lot of things. You can consult international books. So, kunyari, yung book ni Lighthold. Okay, let me know. Lighthold. Ni Stewart. Yan, yung mga books about mathematics. Tapos, meron siyang part doon na application in real life. Yan, talagang doon makikita mo na kahit sa chemistry, meron tayong application. Kahit sa ecology, yung Hollings functional response curve na sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, may application pala yan, no? So, map the way, what I want to say is you just have to read a lot of things wherein you can actually apply what you have learned, okay, or what you're teaching into a real life situation. So first is, again, read. Pangalawa, I suggest that you find international books kasi usually they have at the back yung mga real life applications. So ayun.
Thank you po, sir. So, last two questions na lang po siguro. So, kay Rose Ann po, how can we make sure po that our assessment is accurate or it measures what it is intended to measure?
Okay. So, let me just read it again. Make sure that our assessment is accurate. Okay. Sige. Can I ask Rose, no? What do you mean by accurate, Rose? What is that extent of accuracy? What do you mean? Okay, sorry, I'm not really, Okay, go on.
Sir, if yung assessment lang po natin, for example, kung sa mathematics po, if we want to know if our students learned about this type of concepts, how can we make sure that yung binigay po nating assessment is accurate po dun sa target po nating, for example, purpose po or goals. Yun po, sir.
Okay, so thank you. Sige, nagigets ko na. Thank you, Rose, for that question. Kasi, notice that every time that we make a test, whether it is traditional, whether it's authentic, we always start with the objectives. Okay? Objectives, or the objectives of a lesson plan, di ba, has always been what I consider as the heart of every instruction. So, pag gumagawa ka ng objective there, you're actually making some sort of a framework on when or on how to teach the subject. And when you make the assessment, you should actually go back to the objectives. Kahit na traditional man yan, or, sorry. Sorry about that. Pagka traditional man yan or authentic, should always go back to the objectives. Ano yung gusto nating magawa ng mga bata? So, kunyari, let's say rational functions. They must be able to understand the concept of asymptotes. Okay? Ngayon, yung concept ng asymptotes, ito yung papalapit ng papalapit, pero hindi nila hindi nila ma-touch, di ba? Or papalapit ng papalapit, it goes near and near, but it doesn't actually pass through it. That's the concept of asymptote. Now, how do we do that in an authentic assessment? Gaya ng sabi ko kanina, yung Hollings functional response curve. To give you an idea of Hollings functional response curve, ito yung ginagawa ng mga hayop. Okay? Ito yung ginagawa ng mga hayop. Kaya hindi nauubusan ng hayop sa forest. What do I mean by that? Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo, students, na yung mga sa forest, no matter how much there is a prey and a predator, hindi sila nauubos. Now, why is that? We can actually use Hollings functional response curve there. Mapapansin nyo na kapag ginraph mo yung Hollings functional response curve, makikita mo na merong specific na dami lang ng pagkain or dami lang ng prey ang kinukuha ng mga predators. Okay? Kunyari, lion, tapos yung gazelle. So, kailangan lang pumatay sila ng 8. And then that's about it. Hindi nila uubusin. Okay? Which is very nice, no? Which is has lots of applications. Kasi tayong mga tao, we have no idea on when is enough. Pero yung mga hayop, they do not have any concept of mathematics, pero they have now an idea of when is enough. Diba? Para hindi maubos yung kailangan, yung mga nila. Very nice, right? So, we should always go back to the objective. Okay? So, ayun lang.
Thank you po, sir. So, last question po natin para po sa mga participants natin na natitake ng elementary education, tips daw po for authentic assessment naman for elementary students po.
Okay. So, elementary. Kasi, of course, when you talk of elementary students, sila yung mga, alam mo yun, medyo malayo pa. Di ba? What do I mean by that? Kasi, when we want to teach them, when we want to teach them something that is real life, it's probably something na very far from them or very detached from them. Kasi hindi naman yan malapit na magtrabaho eh, di ba? Especially pagka grade 2 or grade 3 yan, di ba? Pagka nandito sila sa part na ito, hindi naman sila very interested with poker, ganyan, di ba? Hindi naman sila interested sa the real life things, no? Although kasi kapag mga preschool, I would suggest yung CPA, yung Concrete, Pictorial, and Abstract by Jerome Bruner. Are you familiar with that one, no? So, I would say na you can have an alternative. You can veer away from authentic assessment and focus on concrete, pictorial, and abstract learning. Kasi yun yung importante sa kasi yun yung importante sa mga preschool or sa mga grade school. Yung in order for them to understand abstract things, they must be able to touch or they must be able to understand it in the conceptual or in the concrete manner. So concrete muna, so yung popsicle sticks, yung mga ganyan, tapos pictorials or pictures, and then abstract na afterwards. So we can go away with the authentic assessment, pero we should always focus on concrete, pictorial, and abstract. Okay? So I would say that is the type or that is the part wherein it becomes authentic to them. Okay? Kasi authentic, of course, it has to be real. No? Hindi yung ini-imagine lang. So, yung part ng authenticity doon, yung real life or yung real materials yung ginagamit mo. Okay? So, ayun.
Okay, sir, thank you po. And thank you sa mga nagtanong natin na students. So, now we will proceed to the awarding of certificate. Okay, so let me read the citation. So, Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is presented to Mr. Amiel Paulo G. Cardenas for sharing his time and expertise as a resource speaker and facilitator in the workshop with the theme Math Focus, Authentic Assessment in Mathematics, virtually given this 26th day of February 2021, signed by yours truly, President of the Faith Teachers League, by Dr. Jerilyn B. Magbuo, Chair of the College of Education, and Advisor of Faith Teachers League, and Dr. Vivian B. Titular, Dean of the College of Education. So once again, thank you po, Sir Amiel, for gracing our invitation.
Okay, thank you. Faith has always been very close to me kasi nakadalawa na ako sa inyo, right? So, yeah, it's nice. Actually, if you wanted this to become a yearly thing, and I'm okay with that one, no? So, yeah, I'm very much okay with this. I like to teach, in future teachers.
So thank you po, sir. So now,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so for now, we will have a simple workshop activity. So, sir, would you like po na to, Thank you po.
Okay. So, ngayon, as for my activity, as for my workshop, I would like you to do, okay? I'd like you to do the authentic assessment on your own, no? So, don't worry kasi I will be giving you some lessons, okay? Or yung specific lessons, and then from these specific lessons, you're going to make an authentic assessment. So in a way, hindi siya misleading, or in a way, hindi siya what do you call this? Hindi siya unguided. Okay, let me show you my screen. Okay, now. Oops, hindi ito. Here. Okay, so this is the workshop. What you're going to do is you just have to think of the relevant task. Okay? Of course, yung performance criteria, kung ano yung gusto nyong mangyari or ano yung gustong gawin ng mga bata, yun yung gagawin nyo. So, ulit, relevant task. Okay? So, sabihin kung ano yung gusto mong gawin ng bata. Okay? Yung specific thing. So, for example, yung related sa medicine. Ganyan. And the other one is performance criteria. So, kung ano yung gusto mong makuha from the responses of the children. So, I have here this one. I have here from grade 8 up until grade 11. So, according to Roy, you will be grouped you will be grouped by 5. Okay? So, 5 groups. So, kayo na bahala doon sa members kasi I think you're like 40. So, that's 8 members and then 5 groups. So, what you're going to do is you will choose from these lessons in grade 7 to grade 11. So, grade 7, systems of linear equations in 2 variables. Diba? I think that's a very, it's something na we can actually do. Diba? So, kasi alam natin na may application talaga yan sa totoong buhay. Grade 8, triangle postulates. Yung mga SAS, SSS, ASA, diba? Yung SAA, yan, ganyan. So, triangle postulates. So, just think about the different postulates there. Yung mga applications in real life. Grade 9, quadratic functions. Grade 10, circles, geometry. So, you can use power theorem. Even yung mga theorems, yung first theorems ng circles, yung equidistant to a certain point, all of these things. And grade 11, rational functions. Or, you can choose random variables. Okay? So, these are the topics that you need to focus on. Tapos, what you're going to do is you will email it to me. Tama ba, Roy?
Yes po, sir. Balik ko collect po namin, then we will send to you po yung compilation ng lahat.
Okay. Thank you, Roy. So, you will pass it to Roy, and then he will submit it to me, and then after that, I will choose one authentic task, and I think may bibigay na prize si na Roy for that specific group. Okay? So, ayun lang. So, I guess that's about it. O nga pala, the criteria. Okay? So, I think it's important for you to view the criteria. So, you will be graded according to the potential for real-life applications, kung gaano siya talagang pwedeng i-apply sa totoong buhay, originality, or probably I haven't heard of this specific thing that you have done. So, parang very new to me itong ganitong concept. Adherence to the objectives. So, or adherence to that certain tawag dito, yung year level, that's 20%, and completeness. So, when I talk of completeness, yung task itself and the different questions that come with it, it's 10%. So, that's a total of 100%. Okay, I guess my math is correct by that one. Sige. So, do you have questions? Okay. Now, this is the Google link for the presentation. I'm going to copy-paste it. Copy and then paste it here in the wait lang ha. Okay, there we go. And so ayun. So do you have questions? Sige, Roy.
Okay po, so thank you. So if you have questions, pwede mo kayo mag-chat sa chat box. So that's our simple workshop activity. So you can pass it within the day. No, so and you will email it sa ftl@firstasia.edu.ph. Okay, so yung workshop activity you will be sent to ftl@firstasia.edu.ph. So you can work in groups, and then yung mapipili ni sir will have a prize. Okay, so merong paayuda ang Faith Teachers League sa mapipili na authentic assessment. Okay, so it's also a way para din may apply natin yung mga natutunan natin for this workshop. Ayan, so aside from the workshop proper, ito na sa mga pinaka-inaantay ng lahat din dahil may paayuda ulit tayo. So magkakaroon tayo ng raffle. Ayan na, magkaka-raffle. Sana makuha ako. Char. Okay, so yan, magkaka-raffle na tayo. Magra-raffle tayo ngayon. So meron tayong 5 winners ng 100 pesos, either load or GCash. Okay? So meron tayong 5 winners. So kailangan natin ng raffle. Sino kayo mga mabubunot na ating raffle? Pampaloading yun, di ba? 100 pesos. Okay, so again, may tayong 5 winners. Pag po kayo ay na pinabura ng ruleta natin, so chat lang kayo ng hashtag #mathfocus sa ating chat box para alam natin na nandito kayo. Okay, so ayan na. Ruleta, go. Sino kayo magpipi? Ayan, chat kayo. Clarence, Villarine, chat ka nga hashtag #mathfocus kung nandito ka. Kukunin namin yan, joke. Okay, so chat nandito ka ba, Clarence? Still agad si Nikki. Clarence, dito ka pa. 5. Oh, ayun. Dito si Clarence. Okay, so for our second raffle winner, Lovely De Leon. Oh, yan yung nagpe-present mismo. Okay, so nandito si Lovely siya, nagpe-present ang ating ruleta. So meron siya. Nikki, huwag kang mag-steal. Nandito siya. Yan, so yan, si Lovely ang ating second winner. Huwag kang nakawala sa mga second year ha, na math major. And for our third one, Jonaline Recamata. First year ata to. First year. Jonaline, dito ka ba? Chat ka naman dyan. Ay, dito ba si Jonaline? 5, 4, ayun, dito siya. So meron tayong 3 winners. Okay? Wala pang third year. Oo nga, ba't di kami nakukuha dyan? Okay, next. Fourth winner natin for the raffle. 100 pesos din. First year na naman. Nainis. First year na naman si Joyce Ann Rodillo. Dito ka ba? Chat ka ng hashtag #mathfocus kung nandito ka para alam natin na nandito ka sa ating seminar. Okay, we have 5, 4, 3, dito ka ba? 2, 1. Okay, so mukhang wala dito si Rodillo Joyce. And so, ikutin ulit natin ang ruleta. Hindi chance na ulit tayo. Ayan ang ating next. Takla Hazel. So, I believe siya ay non-faith card na interested umattend. Dito ba kaya si Takla Hazel? Chat ka ng hashtag #mathfocus kung nandito ka sayang ang 100 pesos. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so may chance na naman ulit tayo. Okay, so another ikot ulit tayo ng ruleta. Wala na ba? Para meron tayong 3 winners. Oy! Ba't ibang Roy to? Ba't hindi ako? Roy Angelo Nunez. Feel ko wala siya dito. Okay, wala ata si Roy dito. Ay, ang bilis mag-chat. Okay, so nandito na siya. So meron na tayo 4 winners for raffle. Last one na ata tayo kung daw nagkakamali. Last one. Marita Merwin. I think siya ay non-faith card din na interest na umattend. Dito ata siya. Dito ba siya? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, wala ulit. May chance na naman tayo. Nikki, huwag ka mag-steal. Wala tayong steal. Okay, last one. Nakabahan na ako. Sana naman ako. Hindi pa din. Joanna Lucenio. Feel ko nandito ata siya. Joanna, dito ka ba? Mag-chat ka naman ng hashtag #mathfocus kung ayun, nandito siya. Okay, so congratulations sa ating mga raffle winners. Okay, so faith teachers with officers will coordinate with you regarding your prizes. And also nga pala, quick announcement lang para sa ating lahat. So, DIWA scholarship is still available para sa ating mga interested mag-BSE Math. Yan, sa mga interested na baka may kakilala kayo, kaibigan, o pinsan na interested mag-take ng BSE Math. So, open pa yung scholarships natin. No? Meron pa tayong DIWA scholarship. So, I believe full scholarship yon. So, if you have friends or kakilala na interested mag-take ng BSE Math, di ba? So, inform nyo lang sila na mag-inquire para makakuha nila yung full scholarship. Okay, DIWA scholarship for BSE Math. Okay, so now, to close this event, may we call on the President of Faith Teachers League. And ako yun. So, I will close this event with a simple message lang. Okay, so, yan. Ang weird dahil i-introduce ko ang sarili ko, pero okay lang yan. Okay, so, I want to close this event with just a simple message, no? So, alam natin na aside from healthcare, di ba, and economy, education is one of the severely affected sector dahil sa pandemic. Alam natin yan, experience natin kung gaano ang laking epekto ng pandemic sa education. Yung big shift from conventional, naging distance learning. And sobrang laki ng binago nito sa kung paano natututo ang mga estudyante, kung paano sila na-motivate, paano sila na-engage. And from my personal experience, no, yung mga kakilala ko, may mga pinsan ako na they just focus on passing na yung requirements by any means instead of learning. And as future teachers, we will be the frontliners of education and we hold responsibility for students' learning. And through this webinar workshop, we learned a lot about authentic assessments, which is a great way of how we can make learning meaningful and on how we can engage students. And with that, I would like again to thank Sir Amiel for sharing his knowledge and skills. And thank you for gracing our invitation again. Pangalawang beses na ni Sir sa atin. And this event will not be possible without the support from Doc J, our advisor and our chair, Doc V to our dean. Thank you po sa inyo. And thank you din sa math core team na nag-organize ito. So si Ferry, si Lovely, si Chelsea. And thank you sa lahat ng umattend ng webinar nito. Thank you so much sa inyo sa pag-attend. And FTL, Faith Teachers Day, will continue to provide programs that will enhance our skills to be competent, committed, and compassionate teacher leaders in the future. Indeed, this pandemic has changed a lot in education, but this can never change our passion and commitment to offer the best we can do to educate our learners. The situation may be harder now, but we should be stronger. Tulad nga na lagi ko sinasabi, pag nahihirapan ako sa mga ginagawa ko, laging para sa bata. Okay, so yun lang, and thank you so much. Ayan, so back na ulit ako bilang host nyo. I'm back as your host. Okay, so to help us improve, ayan, so to help us improve, please answer our evaluation form flashed in the screen. Ayan, so yung evaluation form natin. And also our officers will be sending the link on our chat box. So you need to fill out this evaluation form to get your e-certificate. Okay, the form will be open until 6 p.m. Again po, to get your e-certificate, please answer our evaluation form and it will be open until 6 p.m. today. Okay, so once again, thank you everyone. So and now, let us all sing the faith hymn.
This land, the peoples, and the burns so bright like a moon. The tower of the land, and the sun that will flourish, that will nurture the future of this nation. Oh, station.
Okay, so may I request everyone to turn on their microphone para lang i-shout ang ating battle cry. So, Ad Astra,
First Asia.
thank you everyone for attending. Again, evaluation form natin until 6 p.m. And we have full scholarship offered for BSE Math students. So baka pag may friends kayo, you can refer us. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Thank you po Sir Amel. Thank you po ulit. Thank you guys.
Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.